Yo, Tony D back in the mega shop, bringing it. I found this bad boy. I was slumming online, looking at some stories that are underrated, I think. Stories that where Batman is against a regular type person. I always dig stuff like that. Doesn't always have to be a superpowered villain. Let's get into this. There's a resounding theme in this story that I thought was really interesting. It's actually great writing. Gosh, Doug Moench? Hope I'm saying it right. Art by Colan and Bob Smith. I'm not too familiar with those gentlemen, but they do a bang up job. We start off where we have a lady at home doing her thing, and very ominous figure. You can pretty much figure out this is your antagonist, and you're going to keep seeing these eyes through here. And the theme of this book from the writing is love, and it's what if love is a finite thing? If a love starts, does one have to end somewhere? I thought that was interesting. That's one of those universal type thought exercises, and they incorporate it really well into this series. It's 2 issues, and the reason why I say that is there's a lot going on. Batman is having a relationship with Catwoman. Jason Todd is the current Robin, and he is having a relationship. And they interject, it's actually brilliant that they interject this. It's not a good relationship, but this guy, yeah, you can see right there. She's, hey, is Jim there? And he's there's some confusion there. Who's Jim? I'm George, and he's unbalanced as all get out, and you can just see what happens. These old Batman books where there's something that dark. This was 19, I want to get a date for you, because I think dates, time periods, I think are important with some of these stories. I believe it's 1980. I don't want to get too deep into the weeds with the date, but it's in the 80s. I'm just going to leave it at that. 85, go figure. You keep seeing these green eyes. And I was confused about that, but we'll get to that. There is a relationship previous to these issues with Batman and Catwoman. It's a love thing. And I thought this was clownish as heck. They got Harvey Bullock look a clown. I don't think I've ever seen him that clownish. They're investigating the scene, and it is grim, people. Grim. Not much left. And what they find out is that the victim isn't really the true victim. They swapped shifts at their jobs, and I think that's important because it gives you more layer of the relationship between, because now they have to tell, of course, boyfriends are suspects. They talk to whoever they think that is, they talk to the boyfriend, he's distraught, but then the lady that switched shifts, she shows up, and it's boom, relief, love. That theme is strong in here, love. And I don't think that whole the victims being swapped up was a big deal. Maybe that'll come into play in the next issue. It's just a 2-issue thing, but they're figuring it out. And Batman and Catwoman, they are working together, and they have a relationship right now, but it's on shaky ground. They go to the real boyfriend of the victim, and they lay it on him, and here's the grief. You have relief and then grief in this relationship with this victim. I think that was done on purpose. Things are not done on accident in comics. It layers the drama in a way where it's defining love a little bit more, I believe, if that makes sense. Let me know in the comments what you think. And Catwoman is pulling away from Batman, and you still see, I'm going to go back a little bit, the eyes. These eyes right here. I just couldn't figure that out, but we'll get to that. And yeah, we got to that where everyone's figuring out who everyone is. They let him know what's up, and he's, get out of here. And you get a lot of this in this issue where Catwoman is pulling away from Batman. And now Batman has to, they bring up Jason Todd. Here's more theme of love where he has a girlfriend. And now they're bringing in the theme of young love here. It's good writing. It made me think a lot about stuff. And if something is making me think about stuff, I know I'm onto something good. And plus, I think it's an underrated story and it's affordable. I think I paid maybe $6 for this issue in fine condition. That's totally cool with me. But this guy becomes a suspect. I can't really remember. I believe he works. They find a clue. Yeah, when they question him, they find a clue about this guy. It's a guy that I believe that worked with her. Yeah, somehow there's a connection there. And this was odd. There's a stalagmite growing in the cave. It looks like a cat. I don't know if a previous issue alluded to that, but it gives you that sense of Batman he's enamored with Catwoman at this point in his career. There's a lot of layered drama there, and he thinks that Robin is questioning this guy, but it is Catwoman. Catwoman's a step ahead of Batman on this. Batman, with this whole love thing, he's losing touch of being on his game, I guess you could say, if that makes sense. It's a distraction. And I think that's been described in other books where the love just doesn't work out with the level of what he's doing. Batman has to stake out this guy. He is the prime suspect, and rightfully, Batman's going to stay on the case. He doesn't care. And I'll go run that's how tight they're working together at this point of his career. She's going to take over his routes. They're tied together. This guy, he's sick. He's definitely the guy, right? He's mixing chemicals, and whatever he has from the crime scene, he is putting it in that bucket. It's grim, but these older Batman detective books where he's not fighting a super criminal, now that I'm older, they're more interesting to me. More mature, I guess, of a reader. And there's those eyes again. I really like how they throw that in there. And she's giving him the cold shoulder, and she tells him there's somebody else, and she's got to go take care of that. And the guy, our antagonist, hires this guy to attack Batman. He knows Batman's on his trail, and that's never good if you're a criminal. And he just he's lying. He's throwing out the Joker, made me do this, and what are you really going to do to me? Just beat me up, throw me in jail. Batman, he's got to dig a little deeper. He gets into the apartment, and he starts finding these pictures, and he's watching this guy extensively. He knows he's guilty. He knows he's guilty of twisted love. They even mention that. There's more of that theme of love. And love can get twisted. You guys know. I ain't got to explain all that, but Batman's dedicated. He's still there. There's still more of the back and forth with Catwoman, and this is where it gets super grim, where our antagonist is, there you go, head shrinking. And here's where we get a reveal of Catwoman's new love. It's a new cat. And that's a big deal for Catwoman. She's literally more concerned about that than Batman. So yeah, another layer of love. This is going to be concluded in Batman 399. I got that bad boy. I think it's a good write from the author. Layers of Love. And it's just one of those older Batman books where it's pretty horrific. I dig them now. When I was younger, I was not into that type of stuff. If he wasn't fighting someone super powered on the cover, I really didn't want to get into it. But getting older, I dig this stuff. I'm always trying to find these little gems. They're out there. Do some digging. Do your own research. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff out there that comics it's a lot. And it's a great hobby. I'd like to hear what my guy, Russ Alexander, has to say about this. I value his opinion. And Christian as well. Let's see what he says about it. But I'll have the next issue to complete this series, and it is outro. Get it.